Hope you're good. Hope you're fine. Hope you're doing well. It's a pleasure to always create content on this channel. This is Lawyers Info Hub. It's a platform where we talk about law practice, we teach law, we share our experiences to help other people become better. We believe in the growth of the legal profession. We believe that lawyers should be excellent in whatever they are doing. We believe in the academic excellence of law students in Nigeria and in Africa and even beyond. Yeah, so it's a pleasure to always meet you on this platform. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please do hit the subscribe button, share the video, and like it. I want to sincerely thank my subscribers. It's been an amazing journey. We have been growing steadily, and I appreciate you all. If not for my subscribers, maybe I would not even be here. You give me that courage, that motivation to know that people are appreciating what we are doing. Um, so it helps us and motivates us to go back and do more work. So today we're looking at becoming a notary public in Nigeria. Yes, a notary public. Many people desire to become notary publics, but they don't even know how to go about it. They don't know who to ask. They don't know how to be guided. They don't even know what. They just like that name, notary public. Some other people do not even know the functions of a notary public, but they want to be a notary public. Yes. So becoming a notary public is a very good thing. It is a revered position. It is it is a height that a lot of people envy. And when you get to that height, there are a lot of things that are expected of you. Now, who is a notary public? A notary public is an officer of the Supreme Court, yes, by virtue of the appointment of a lawyer to become a notary public, the person becomes an officer of the Supreme Court. Now, notary publics are, you know, given or, are being, given to lawyers who are senior lawyers, who are fit and proper. And now, it is expected that this lawyer who will be given this new feather, yes, let's take it that way, is expected to know the law, to be able to appreciate the office because the office comes with a lot of, responsibility. There are things expected of you. There's some mistakes a notary public will make, and they're like, "Are you sure this person is really a notary public?" Because the person begins to, you know, do works that a commission of old does. But now, this is a lawyer, not just a lawyer, an officer of the Supreme Court. The person begins to notarize documents, do a whole lot of things. So beyond the notarizing of documents, there are lots of work a notary public does that involves the knowledge of law. So to be able to know, is it within my jurisdiction? Is it within my ambit of my responsibility? Is it overreaching my office? Yes. Now, it's important to also note that a notary public is appointed by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the CJN. Yes, they are appointed by the CJN, but when they are being sworn in, they are sworn in by the Chief Judge of their state where they practice. So when you're making an application, the application will be addressed to the Chief Registrar of the Supreme Court. It is the Chief Justice of Nigeria that appoints. But when you have to be sworn in, for convenience, you'll be sworn in by the chief judge of your state. Just like I stated earlier, a notary public is an officer of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. They have lots of functions, lots and lots of functions. Many people will say, yeah, being a notary public is another avenue for me to make money. Beyond making money, beyond having another source of livelihood, you must understand the temerity, the qualifications, the no without. You need to understand what that office embodies. You must begin to walk in that light. Many people who have gone in for selfish reasons end up doing things that are questionable. Doing things that people will hear like, did the notary public sign this document? Did the notary public notarize? How can the notary public notarize this? So when you know the law and you're being made you're a notary public, you begin to apply the law to your functions, and that makes the difference unlike someone who just in there to see it as a source of revenue and can do anything, even things that are beyond their limit, just to make money. Now, some of the functions of a notary public includes, notarization of documents, both international and local documents, certification of documents. They can even do witness execution of both local and international documents. You know, several documents they can, notarize it, declaration administration of oath, or they can issue notarial certificate. They can even do administration of oath or taking of or administration of oath in terms of taking of affidavit, just like the commission of oath does. Affidavit can even be used in the court. They can also, obtain authentication, from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Sometimes you need to maybe authenticate some document, so they can even obtain authentication for a person from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, depending on what you want to do. Now, these are just some functions. The functions are so many, and that is why when a person is appointed in notary public, they are being tutored. They go through trainings. Even during their in interview stage, when they are going through their documents. They look at it for qualified people, people who have practiced the law, people who knows what to do, people who know the law, people who know practice. That is why when you are applying, it's expected they want to see your CV, they want to know what you have done, they want to know the area of law you're practicing, they want to know how far you have gone in the practice, so that they will not give this high rank or position to a person who does not even know his left from his right. Now, you also know that a notary, just like notarizing of documents, even include international documents, just like I earlier said. Then, uh, before you are you apply for this position of a notary public, it's important that you prepare. I always believe in preparation, because when you prepare for something, the possibility that you will come out excellently, or that what you want to be given to you is very high, because you have prepared for it. Now, what are part of the preparation? What are the things you're going to prepare? Now, it involves that one of the things I want to hit more is issue of payment of malpractice fee. Now, for you to even be considered, you must be a person, a lawyer that pays his or her bar practicing fee as at the right time, as at when due. You're not paying it after the due date has passed. It's not someone who wakes up at any time to do anything. No, you know that it's time for payment of bar practicing fee. And once that 1st of March elapses, any payment done is no more as at when due. So these are the considerations. So if you want to be a notary public, then you must start paying, you must pay your bar practicing fee as at when due. Now, you because you bring up all the receipts of the bar practicing fee you have paid for at least 7 years preceding the date of your application, and you must have paid them as at when due. 7 years. You did not fail. 7 years consistently. 7 years, not missing one. 7 years. Very important. So for a young lawyer who wants to be a notary public, you have to start planning it. So every year you pay your bar practicing fee at when due, because you need like seven of it when you're applying. Now, when you're applying, you have to write an application letter addressed to the Chief Registrar of the Supreme Court. Yes, the Chief Registrar of the Supreme Court, well typed and well written. Now, you're writing an application, you know that the construction of English must be on point. Your tenses must be on point. You apply, introduce yourself, who you are, where you're practicing, who you're practicing with, how many years of experience you have in your application. Then and why you are qualified, or you feel you are attained the or you have met the prerequisites needed for the appointment. These are what will be contained in your application, which will be addressed to the registrar of the Supreme Court. Now you have this your written application will be 3 copies. Then you have to now attach your CV. Very important. Your CV is a history about yourself, what you have done, who you are, where you schooled, what you know your CV, but well arranged. So you need to attach your CV, and this your CV, you have to date it at the last page and sign. Yes, I have to date it and sign. Now, your CV, if you're in Lagos, you're practicing in Lagos, you have to submit 23 copies of your CV. But if you're practicing in other states other than Lagos, you submit 15 copies. There are committees that sit on this application. So they will share it, your application. A lot of people review this process, not just one person. So they will share your application around to see those who are qualified. Some people will be screened out. Some people will make it to the last stage, while some people will not make it for one reason or the other. So your CV speaks a whole lot about it. So you're going to do your CV very well, well arranged, well articulated, your job description, you know. So your CV 23 copies will be attached to your application if you're in Lagos, if you're practicing in Lagos, but if you're practicing in another jurisdiction, 15 copies of your CV. Yes, then you have to now make photocopies of your the payment of your annual bar practicing fee. I told you 7 years uninterrupted payment as at when due. 7 years, 7 years of your bar practicing fee. You photocopy all of them and arrange it sequentially. You also attach it. You attach it. Then very important is I just told you that it has to be payment as at when due. If you have missed a year, it will affect your application. So that is very key. This also goes to show that it's important to pay about practicing fee as at when due. Don't pay when the date has passed, the deadline has passed. And most time because the deadline always in March, many people when they start the year, it should be part of your yearly goals. It should be part of as you're entering a new year, you should set out. Don't spend the whole money during the festive period. Set out that you must pay your bank practicing fee. So don't wait for the rush hour when it's the deadline, to make payment. And the fact that you can make it online is now very beautiful. Thank you for the administration that brought it. You can pay, without really going to the bank to queue. Because sometimes before now, when you go to the bank, there may be network failure and the platform and all that. But don't wait for the dying till the dying minute to make payment for your property safety. Because if you're interested in positions like this, you must be a faithful lawyer in terms of your payment of your bar practicing fee. Now that means that if they're going to submit 7 consecutive bar practicing fee receipt, then means should be at least 7 years post call. Yes, 7 years post call. Should be at least 7 years. At least at 7 years, it's expected that the person is no more a baby lawyer. The person is at least a senior. At 7 years, you can be called a senior lawyer and knows his or her honors and understands practice and all of that. Yeah, you have to also attach piece of your court to bar certificate, which shows when you were called. Now, if you have a firm, a law firm for you by yourself, you have to attach the certificate of registration. It is a company certificate of incorporation. Now, also, if you're working for someone, then you have to attach the certificate of incorporation of that place you're working. You know, very, very important. Very, 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 very important. Before now, a notary public is appointed by the Queen of England, through their, proceeds through the colonial and protectorate. But now, by virtue of the Notary's Public Act law, you know, that the Notary's Public Act law, of 1955, law number 107, yes, 107 of 1955. So it's the Chief Justice of Nigeria that now appoints. It's very so important that when a notary public certifies documents, it is internationally recognized. You see, sometimes maybe you, for example, we see people sometimes when they are traveling or they are making applications to move to another country, they say, okay, go and get a notarized document. So, by virtue of the Hague Convention, it gives international recognition to the office and the seal of a notary public. Now, after you have must have submitted, the screening is done and all of that. The beauty of it is that you are notified when you have moved to the next stage. Like A lot of application comes in from each state, but after the whole selection, and the person because they will go through screening and all that to certify that these people, know their onions. Then those that are qualified will be notified. When they're notified, then at a convenient date, you know, that is a convenient for the chief judge of the state, they will be, they'll be, the certificate of the notary will be given to them, they'll be sworn in, and their seal can also be given to them. They have the handbook and all of those. It helps you to know for the person to read, understand more, and it's a very prestigious office. And when the person is sworn in some states they do training to train you more, to tell you the do's and the don'ts, what is expected of you, your class, and what your status now is, and what is expected of you. I know the point is that a notary public is a person who is fit and proper. Now, issue of character, if the person's character, if there are petitions or people say, ah, this person are very notorious, that is why one has to be careful. If the person's character is one that is questionable, they cannot give it to you. It's a special occasion, even though it's not really publicized. It will be done in the chambers of the chief judge, few persons, depending on the application for each state and how many is approved. You know, the person becomes a notary public. The person have to now do, the seal, the your stamp will have to now change, you know, if you know even know how to notarize. These are easy things you can also learn. You can now begin to notarize documents. You can let people know you're now a notary public, and you begin to act accordingly. So, friends, it's been a wonderful time, you know, speaking to you. I just hope you've learned. For some people who want to be a notary public and you don't have what it takes here, so you can start preparing. And for those who have, make inquiries, even in your bar centers, make inquiries in the high court, in the chief judge's chambers. You go to the DCA, go to anybody on the they can tell you the time that the applications are called in, not every time of the year, when you can submit, who to meet. Just ask questions, they will direct you on what to do. And you never can tell. You may be very lucky for your application to be successful. Yeah, so it's been a nice time discussing this with you. For some who act on this information, I hope that you become successful in your endeavors. We believe in excellence. We believe that the sky is our starting point. We believe that we can achieve whatsoever we desire for the fact our heart is made up. We believe in having resilient spirit. Lawyers Info Hub Academy is here for you. We are here to support the growth of legal education. We believe in the legal education. We believe that knowledge is key. We believe in that knowledge is power. For you to be successful in law, in this practice, you must be knowledgeable. You must know how to find the law, where to find the law. You must know the applications. Yeah, so we believe in everything law. Yeah. So it's been a wonderful time. Do take care of yourself and know that you can always be the best. Do take care.